I'm trying to connect to the database. No. It's not logging in. One second, I'll see. I'll delete this. Okay, so I'll create a new database. This is the username and that is the password. Let me try. Access denied. Cannot log in. Cancel. I am logging in from a different machine. So this is I have a UI. And try to log in. Okay. Instead of using web UI, I thought I'll. Okay. Password is different. I was trying. I didn't see the password field. The password port is 3306. Okay, I'll click on test connection. Yes, it is connected. Connect. Okay, so we are good. I will share my. Is my screen visible? Yeah, it is visible. Okay, good. So, am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay, good. So what we'll do today is, since I deleted, I'll refresh once again. So I will create a table as user. So T001 underscore user is the table, and I'm going to have user ID as a column. The data type is int, and I'll have length as 20, and it is a primary key, which means the every row is going to have its own unique value, and I'm going to give auto increment. And I'll have a user name field, which is a varchar, and the length of the field will be 20 characters. It's not a primary key, it is not null. So all these are, I'll leave it as it is. And I'll give now is active, and it is a, I can choose between tiny int, and also I can give a varchar of 1, or I can give a boolean. So I'll give a boolean. So these are the three fields in the user table. Now if I go and query the user table, I don't have a record. Let me go ahead and create. I'll go Sunday, and it is true. Automatically, if you see, the user ID is generated. So Monday is not active. Tuesday is a user who is active. Wednesday is a user who is again active. Thursday is a user again active. Friday active. Saturday and not active. So we have created 7 users now, which means these are the 7 records in the table, and everyone has one primary key, which is a unique number. So at this stage, I want to show you something. Yesterday, I mentioned that we have something known as index. So when I alter a table, we have an index field. Automatically, the primary key becomes the index. So index is nothing but the analogy is the page index of a book. So using which you identify where the content is present inside a book. So you have a book. Let us say I'm telling you in which page does the collections in Java is coming. So in you'll go to index, and index, it would be written that collection is at page number 40, and you will go into that 40 and you will find it. The same way we will be creating a primary key, and we have to assign what is an index. If you give primary key as a primary key, by default becomes an index. So this means the database is going to arrange all the records in a sequential way so that it can identify it when someone is trying to retrieve the record. That's an index. If we without index, the database performance will be slow, as it is going to be when I ask you to search in a book without an index. Without index, if I ask you where the collection is, you have to go through every single page and see whether it is given or not. The same way, without index, database will be slow. Now we'll go ahead and create one more table as address. The user is going to have an address. So the column name, before I forget, let me just copy and paste this so that I can use it for tomorrow. DB details. Okay. So okay, I'll back to this. I'll create an address table. The column in the address table will be address ID, which is an integer. I'll have 20 as the length primary key, auto increment. By the way, there is one column, this one, there is a collation. Actually, there is no collation provided by this database. We have different collation, meaning few times you want to store a regional language data as it is. Example, Hindi character or Tamil character or Kannada character. Those case, the MySQL will automatically take English only. If you want to store other language characters, you have to select the collation. For that, the MySQL should be enabled for the other language. This case, it is not enabled. So here we cannot store it. Okay. So that was just a quick tip. Now we have an address ID, which is a primary key. We have the actual address, which is a varchar, and the length of the address will be 50. It is not a primary key. It is not an not null. All those things. Next, for whom this address is? This is for an user ID. So I'll create user ID fk. It is going to be an int, and this is going to refer in the foreign key, which I'll be doing shortly. So I'll create the table. The table is created. Now if I go to the foreign key column, I can give here user ID fk. So till here we did yesterday. I'll be referencing this column inside the user table, user ID column. So the foreign key is created successfully. Now, if you see the user table has 1 to 7 records. If I go to address table and I start keying in the address 1, and the user ID, if I give 1, it is going to accept because 1 is available. If I give address 2 and if I give 8, it will throw an error that cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails because the foreign key, which is the user ID, should be available in the table. So we have seen this yesterday. So I'll go ahead and go to address 3 is for third user. Address 4 is for the fourth user. Address 5 is for it can be null. Address 6 is for the sixth user. Address 7 is for the seventh user. Sixth I forgot. Okay, we are good now. So 8, if I give, anyway, it is going to throw an error because there is no record with 8. Okay, so we have the address table with 1 to 7 and the reference is user ID. Now if I want to select star from T001, I can run it and I will be getting an output as user ID, username, and whether they are active or not. By the way, why is it coming all inactive? I'll give 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. If I run this query, okay, so all these are active. I'll quit this. Okay, so 2 users are inactive. Now I'll write a query to select star from T002 address. So we have the address table fetched. Now I want to write a query which we saw yesterday. I want to join user table and address table and fetch the user name, whether they are active or not, and their address. So select is the first line. From which table? T001 user. I'll give a table alias T002 address and address alias. The third row is where. This is what we saw yesterday. The first row will be select, second will be from, third will be a where condition. I have to join u dot user ID equal to a dot user id, because these two columns are same. If I execute, it is going to give me the username, active or not, and the address. So till here we saw how to join two tables yesterday. Now if you see, I am getting all the records. I am getting how many records? 6 rows. I want to fetch only the active user. There I have to go and is active equal to true, which means only the active users will be selected. Now I should get only 5 records. The active users are 5, the inactive is 1, so that is gone. I can go false. If I give false, since it is a Boolean column, I will be able to fetch only the inactive user now. So this is how we write filters and fetch out only the columns which we need. So now I will add one more table as language. So this is going to be the user language. Okay, the languages which the user speaks. So the first column will be the primary key language ID. Int I can keep 10, and it is a primary key. It is auto increment. Next, the actual language which they speak, it is going to be a varchar, and the max length will be 20. I'll create a table. Now I have 3 tables. I'll go to third table. I'll give a relationship. I'll give user ID fk. So which column I have to refer? Okay, I don't have a column. So I'll alter this table. I will go and add the column. A language should be there for a user ID. So it is a user ID fk int 10. I'll leave it as it is. No reference column selected for the foreign key. Okay. Here I'll see. Okay, there is a column which I created, and which table I have to refer? User table, user ID. I'll save. Duplicate foreign key constraint user ID fk, because I used this fk in the other table. As I said yesterday, the foreign key name should be unique. So this is in language. So I'll just give some other name. And this is created. Good. Now, before I proceed, there is something known as database diagram. So if we go to right click, not here, power tool, schema tools. One second. New query, schema designer. Yeah, we have a schema designer where you can drag and drop these tables, and the MySQL will show with the relationship. That now I have these two tables. So this is a parent table. From this table, you can see here there is something as 1, and there is something as infinity here. So this means 1 to infinity, 1 to many, meaning one record in the user table can have multiple records in the language table. That's what it is. This is very important concept. Please let me know if you have any questions. The reason is, in Hibernate, when we deal with Hibernate, when we go back to the Java, these concepts will come. That time I will not be able to explain in depth as I am doing now, because we need the database access. So here 1 to infinity and 1 to infinity means one user can have multiple address, One user can have multiple language. That is the meaning of this infinity. We also call it as 1 to n. So if I am going to the language table, okay, but where is this is not the new language table. I extended the table. Okay, here it is. So I'll have a language as Hindi. Which user? User 1. The user 1 can also speak English. User 1 can also speak Tamil. Now user 2. User 2 can speak German. User 2 can speak Hindi. So let's have this, which means one user is having multiple entries in this table. You leave out the primary key. It is going to be unique and auto increment. So we'll not even bother about this. So one user is going to have multiple entries here. That is what this infinity is showing. One user in the user table can have a multiple entry in the language table. Same way, one user can have like temporary address, permanent address, multiple shipping address, multiple billing address. So one user can have multiple address. That is what this 1 to infinity is showing up. Now, so I wanted to show the schema diagram. Whenever the foreign keys are set, this is easy for you to understand the relationship. Rather than just seeing the table and going to the FK, this will automatically show you the diagram. So you can save the diagram, you can export to JPEG. So whatever project you are going, when I was a fresher, my lead said me, Java is not a big thing. JavaScript or HTML or nothing is big. The only thing you have to master when you go to a project is the database. That is the key. If you know the database, the project is in your hand. You will be able to easily write any logics. So he said me, don't focus on any other things. Just focus on the database alone. So that's what I've been telling all my students so far. Because Java or HTML is just a depiction of whatever is there in the database. It's not a big deal, but you have to understand these one to many, many to one. So if you talk about the user screen, what we tell, one user to many language, one user to many address. The reason I'm telling this statement is this will come in Hibernate exactly as I tell. One user to many language, one user to many address. If I speak in terms of language, it will be reverse. Many language to one user, many address to one user. If you have any questions, you can stop me.
Rajesh, just you are explaining the relations right here.
Yes, this statement which I am telling is very important because this is used to write Hibernate relationship mappings. So when you see a table, when you see multiple tables, you should be able to recognize this statement. When I speak in terms of user, the statement will be one user to many language, one user to many address. One entry in user table can have many entries in language table. Correct?
Okay.
That is what we have. One entry in the user table. What is the entry? One. One is the entry in the user table. This is having 3 entries in the language table. We are referencing one. One entry, which is 2. A particular entry in the user table is referencing 2 entries in the language table. So what it means, one entry in one record in a user table can have, it is not should have, can have or may have multiple entries in the language table. Same way, one entry in the user table can have multiple entries in the address. This is called one to many mapping. One user to many language, one user to many address. Coming to the language or address table, it is many to one mapping. Many language can have one user. That's what it is, right? Many language, which is 1, 2, and 3. So many languages are having one user. Many languages are having one user, which is 2. So this is one to many and many to one mapping. This is the heart of Hibernate. One to many, many to one. 99.9% in live project you'll have this mapping always. So when you see a table, you immediately you should know one to many, many to one. Which is one to many? Where it is many to one. From user, it is called one to many. One to many language. One to many address. But from language, it is called many to one user. From address, it is called many to one user. Any questions?
I'm clear. For me, it's clear.
Oh, okay, good. So now we'll go and write the query. We'll okay. So we wrote a join. Now we'll enter data. Did I enter into the language table? Yes, I have. So now I have the username, whether they are active, their address. I want their language also. So I will join the language, comma, language they speak. Okay, language seems to be a keyword. So, okay, I'll rename this column as language spoken. Okay, now I'm good. I will come back to the query. So language underscore spoken from. Now there is a third table which is involved, which is 3003 language. So if there are 3 tables, if you see here, how many joins are there? 2 joins are there. When the 3 tables are involved, 2 joins are there. There are 2 lines. This is what we have to write in the query also. If there is a 4th table, we have to see how many links are there. So I'll go ahead. I'll join. For language, I'll give a table alias as SL and I'll join. And language, what is the column? User ID equal to user dot user ID. So this is how we join. Let's run this and see. Okay, so we got Sunday. Sunday is speaking 3 languages. That is why 3 times Sunday has come. And Sunday has single address only. Sunday is having only one address, but he is speaking 3 language. So 3 times his record has come if I join this table. And Monday is having 2 language. When I remove this, how many records came? Okay, there is something to note now. Okay, I'll remove this language. From here, I remove the language. I remove this join. When I run this, I got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Sunday is having, Monday is having, Tuesday is having, Wednesday is having. If you notice this query, it was returning 5 rows. When I ran the same query after including the other table, the 5 rows becomes 5 rows, even though it is 5 row, but it is returning only 2 user, Sunday and Monday. Earlier it was returning me 5 users, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Saturday. The reason is, if you see the table, you will understand. So user table, there are 7 records. We are good. If you go to the address table, do we have entries for all the user? No. We have address for 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 7. We don't have an address for user 5. So when I join user and address, whichever user is having an address only that user, and if he must be active, only that user is coming up, which means only Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Friday is inactive. Thursday is not having an address. This is called inner join. Let me open up the slide. Slides. I have to give access. 1 second. All right. So we got it. So this one. I'll go. Okay, where it is here? I'll insert a slide. It is day 22. So primary key, DB creation. We saw how to create a table. We saw how to create an index, primary key, how to create a foreign key, then schema diagram. We saw how to view the schema diagram. Then after that, select query, which is a DML statement. After this, okay, after this, we wrote a join between two tables and join of three tables. So when we see this, this is called an inner join, meaning we join two tables and the record is brought only if the record is present in both the tables. Otherwise, it is not brought. That's called an inner join. Only matching records between the two tables are brought. So if we take this query, only the matching records which are available in all the three tables are there, which meaning the ID should be there in all the tables. So Sunday and Monday. Only these two are available in all the table. The other user is available in language, but address, but not in language. That is why the inner join did not bring. So inner join is a join which joins two tables and brings up the records matched by these two tables. Any record which is there in one table but not in other table will not be brought here. To bring that, we have a outer join. So what we do is, okay, let me just see. Here, when we give this from table, where, instead of where, I just have to give outer join I'll give first the user table, and the second table I have to give in the join. So outer join. And here on. This is the syntax. So what this will do is, let me execute and see. This will keep one table as a reference and will bring out all the record which is there in the other table. Full outer join, table 2 on, table 1 equal to table 2, where. So the where comes here. By mistake okay, what is the error? Near full outer join. It is outer join table on in Oracle DB, we have something as plus. We give like this. If you give plus, it means outer line. So depending on the database you are using, this will be changing. So you can refer the documentation. Once again, let me go to the documentation. If I do, there is no left. If I give just, I'll try left join on. Just let me see if it is working. Yeah, so this is working. So what this means is, keep the left table as master. Even if the right table is not, even if the right table is not there, even if the right table doesn't have a record, you bring it. That is what this meaning is. Let me just change this. Right join. Actually, do we have a record for everyone in the address table? 5 is not there. Okay, in this query, let me remove this. I will bring everyone because that particular user. Okay, you see here, this is bringing all the users. Okay, but once again, so 1 2 3 4, address 5 is not having a user. So if you see here, it is null. So right join meaning you bring you take this table as a reference and match with the left table. If the left table is having a matching record, you bring it. If it is not having a matching record, bring a null value. So this case, address table has more records. The address table is having address 5, but the corresponding user is not there. So when it is querying, it is bringing the address, but the user is null. Let us do the other way. If I have one additional user here, and I don't have an entry in the address table. If I put a left join, this user should come here and the address should be empty. Again, this is a very important concept. You'll always use it. So if you see here, 2 users are not having address. And Yeah. Any questions on this? So left join and right join are the outer joins in MySQL. Depending on the database, whatever I am teaching, you just get the concept. Left join means always using the word you remember. If it is left join, the left table will be fixed. And right table, if there is a matching record, it will bring, otherwise null. If we take this example, Rajesh is there in the left table, Thursday is there in the left table, but the corresponding address is not there in the right table. So it is showing null here. If you give right join, right table will be fixed and the corresponding left table will be brought or it will become null. See here. Depending on the business, I'll tell one actual scenario where this will be useful. Let us say we have the mobile users and the bill payment. Let us say I have one table as P003 payments, and I'm going to have a payment ID which is integer and the length 10, primary key, auto increment, and status, which is varchar of 10, and the amount. Amount is a float 10. So let's say I have a mobile payment table. Now assume that these users, what are the user IDs? Okay, by the way, I have to add a user ID reference. Foreign key I have to add. For that, I have to add here user ID int. This is not a primary key. I go to foreign key constraint. Payment user ID FK. And the referencing column is user ID. Reference table is user ID. So I save this. Now okay, now when I go to the this table, so the scenario is okay, I'll go to schema and I'll drag and drop this payment as well. So you can see that there will be a join between the user table and the payment table. Got it. So far good. So now let us say our boss is asking, can you pull me and show me all the users who have not done a payment? That case, what I should do? I should bring all the users who has not done a payment. So I will do select star from T001 user, left join. I'll keep this user table as static and I'll T004. Okay, by mistake I created same name. T003 payments. Let's take table alias is P, table alias is U. So now I'll do on U dot user ID equal to P dot user ID. So this is going to pull all the users who is all the users along with their payment detail. Correct. So everyone, there is no entry in the payment table, which means none of them have done a payment. So this query is showing me everyone. So I'll take this report and give to my boss that, okay, these are the users who have not done any payments. He will take it and he will speak with the user. And let's say the user has started paying me. So the user, okay, this is not the table. I extended it. Okay. Okay. So let's say the first user, he has paid me. He has paid me. $500, and I'll mark the status as paid. Now, after 1 week, the boss is again asking me, can you pull me a report and show me the list of users with their payment status? I'll do a join like this. Now, one record will come. Instead of this left join, if I'm going to do a join, which is a inner join, if I don't do this join, if I'm going to do a select star from this comma, this one where u dot is, if I'm going to do like this and give him what I will tell, I will get only one row. I'll tell him only these are the users, but he will ask, I have around 7 users in my directory. Why are you giving me only one user? Because our query is wrong. Irrespective of they have done a payment or not, we should be fetching their record. That is where the join comes. Now let us say we are running this report and we are giving. He is asking now, why are you giving me the paid status? Please ignore the paid status and give the records. If he is going to ask, we will tell into the query where the status, which status is in which table? Payment table. So p dot status not equal to paid. So bring me all the records of that join. So this join without this where condition is bringing me 8 records. Of this 8 record, just pull out one record, pull out the records which is not having a status, the payment status as paid. If I run this query, that one row will be eliminated, not equal to paid. Okay, but where, what is wrong? On this one where p dot status is not equal to paid. Okay, this is correct only. This we don't have. The not equal to is no. That is correct only. So not equal to paid. Do I have a space? No. Okay, I'll do the other way. I'll ask where the payment status equal to null. So bring me all the records which is having a null payment status. Okay, but why p dot status? I'll change this column name, alter table. Status is again a keyword. Payment status. Okay, so let me just do one thing. I'll say do a select star from T003 payment. Where payment status is equal to paid. Let's see. Okay, so it is bringing. If I go not equal to paid, it should still bring me. Yes, so let me try this column where and p dot payment status not equal to paid. F9. No, there is some issue with okay, this is where payment status is null. Actually, it will be is null. So if I run this, I should get the query. Okay, so I am getting the records which where the payment status is null. Actually, let me try that also. Payment status is not equal to paid. Let me try once. It is not coming. I'll find out. Okay, in that case, do I have a space? No, I don't have a space also. Okay, let me find out. But
Is
this is
not
another
equal
way.
to is like equal to, and after that mark, I think.
No, no, that is in different language. Here, this one, right? You're telling this one.
Yeah, after is equal to that mark. I
That
don't.
is in different. Okay,
No,
let
no.
me try it.
After is equal to put that mark. I think that's the way you can do it.
No, not equal to will be this one, this much. But let's go to the document. No, this is working, right? This is in MySQL. Maybe this is in other
Okay.
language, other
Okay.
database. So this
Understood.
query, yeah, here it is working. See, so maybe I'll do one thing. Okay, so correct. There's only one record as paid, so it is correct only. So I have to go is null, meaning when I run this query, I'll get a set of records. From this record, I have to fetch only the users who have not done a payment, which means the payment status is null. So I give the payment status as null. Now the boss will see, he'll see that okay, 7 users have not done a payment. He'll go to the user and ask. So now one more user will start paying and he has done the payment, he too. Now again, if we run and he asks the report, we run again with the left join and it is reduced. So this is the user or this is the use of a left join. What is the use of right join? Let's see that also. So let us say there is a user. No, there is a payment. There is a payment which has come inside our system. The payment department has entered a $1,000 payment, but they don't know from whom it came. They have an additional payment, so they have recorded in the system. This case, the boss is going to ask you, can you show me all the payments which is done by user and also give me a report if something is not there which is not done by a user. That case, what we'll do, we'll first do the left join and see. If we do a left join, we won't get that record because that is not having any user ID linked. So our inner join will not give, our left join will not give. But if you go with a right join and query this, all the payment will come. And if the user ID is null, it is coming. See, the 1,000 is coming and the user ID is null. So we'll generate this report. Again, we'll go, yeah, we'll generate this report and we'll give it to him. Okay, I have 3 records who have done the payment. Of these 3, 2 is having username. He will ask, don't give me the record which is having the username. That case, we have to go here where username is not equal to, no, is null. Bring out the record where the username is null. So we will get one record. We will give it to him that, okay, there has been some payment without any user ID mapping. So this is the actual live usage of left join and right joins. Any questions so far? All
Very good,
these we will,
Rajesh.
No,
okay.
I'm
So
good.
all these we will be using in Hibernate next week when we deal with when we go back to Spring Boot and the DAO layer. All these will be used there. Though that time all these queries will be auto generated by Hibernate. That time you should not be surprised to see what is left, what is on, why is it putting like this. That is the reason we are going through the queries, because using Hibernate we will not write queries. Hibernate will take care of everything. it will print all the queries. It will link the tables, that will do everything. All the magics will be done. So joins are done. I'll quickly show, like, we have something called as view, stored procedures, functions, triggers, and events. So these are all things which are there in the database. Views. What is a view? View is something that, as a name suggests, it is just a view, a read only copy. When sometimes you don't want database access to be given to a person, because by mistake he can alter the record, because changing the record is so easy here, right? So by mistake, let's say he alters some table, it will cause an issue, data issue, but you want him to view the table. So what we do, we create a view. You have to just create a view. If you go here, there is a small icon, notice it's just a glass icon, which means just a view. He cannot alter any records. So I'll create a view for this report. Let's say we have generated this report. So users not paid view. I will generate a view like this and select star from is given. So I will copy that query. Where is the left join? Okay, this is going to give me all the users. No, not this one. This one, right? All the users who have not done a payment. Yes. So I'll copy this query and I will paste as a so I'll paste this as a view. So I do not have permission to create a view. But I will check it out. So there's no so I will not be able to create a view. That view is something as a read only. Any questions so far?
Rajesh, we can't see yesterday's video. It is showing like private video. Could you please do it public?
Yesterday's video.
Rajesh, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I will check it out. Just now,
Yes.
I will check it out.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Okay. Any questions so far in this?
I'm good.
Okay, so we'll pause here for today. We'll
tomorrow and we'll continue with the stored procedures. Tomorrow we'll see what is a stored procedure and what is a function. Before that, I'll see if I have permission. No, I don't have permission. Okay, let me try to create a local database and see if I can. I'll create something and I'll show you. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do that. Let's pause for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.